It's like if I built a car and somebody painted it and you're like, oh, you're gonna throw away what we built. It's kind of like not what we built, what I built, and you kind of helped at the end. That's kind of how I feel about the whole situation. He might have a whole different perspective on it. That's just my opinion.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the gods hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Cerbavelli back in the motherfucking place to be, La Merca Superior, Palace 81 in the house. And we got a few things to cover, man. No, I do not have cancer. That's not why I'm wearing the hat. I've just got a fresh cut. No disrespect to all the cancer patients out there. I wanted to switch it up. How do I look good in hat? Do I look good in hats? I haven't worn hats in 11 years. But, I had to get the Kangol shout out to, what's the dude's name? LL Cool J, right? He wore Kangol. Who else? Samuel Jackson, Run DMC, you know what I mean? And then they even put the wolf. You can even see, that was when I was big into Tyler, the Creator. I wouldn't really wear my hats to the side, but does that look better? Do I just look like a New Yorker and shit? Who wants CDs for $5? Nah, I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah, that's more like it. See the fresh fade. Shout out to the homie Carlos. I got to put people on. But I haven't worn this hat. I got on a trip a while ago. I'm gonna put it over there. We got a lot of things to cover. I haven't actually recorded a podcast in probably a week or two or something like that. So the podcast you're gonna see are all one happened before the other, and the timeline isn't the same. So we're just gonna talk about a few things. I kind of want to keep it light. You know what I mean? This is a day I just chose to record because I'm you know what? I'm long overdue, and I just felt let's just record a podcast, guys. Let's just get right into it. So this is going to be more so I got a few things that I thought were interesting, like this Oregon bill is, I don't know if it's passed, but whatever it is, $1,000 a month for the homeless. And it's crazy how Oregon, they're passing out $1,000 to the homeless, and over here in LA, they're fucking actually breaking down the encampments and stuff. So I think that's really interesting. I don't know what the homeless did to deserve $1,000. I mean, for me, I barely, not barely, but I make over $1,000 a month. I don't want to say how much I make specifically, but I don't make that much more than $1,000 a month. And keep in mind, this is part-time, just in my part-time job. I think that's crazy. I think the homeless shouldn't really get shit besides help from other people. Obviously, if you're homeless, you would need help from someone who has a home, right? Not from the government. So I think the government, for them to pass bills like that is kind of crazy. And over here in LA, the homeless people are just getting screwed over. It's really interesting. During the pandemic, they were actually sending free bus rides to LA. I don't know the whole facts, but I know for a fact, I know for certain that homeless people were coming by the fucking truckloads over to LA for whatever reason, from all up and down America. And we have the homeless. When they say the homeless is a problem, the homeless is a big problem, bro. And I don't know. I think it's really interesting that 3 years after the pandemic, they're just taking the encampments down, which means somebody passed the bill to get some money to bring the homeless over here, and then completely did a 180 and was like, you know what, screw the homeless. We're just going to get them all out of here. And who cares what happens to them if they find jobs, rehabilitation, if they have drug addiction, mental health issues, something, whatever it is, like, it doesn't matter what happens to them, because as long as the government is getting their cut, if whatever can happen to them can happen to them. I'm trying to cut back on my cursing, you know what I mean? I was trying to show a clip of show my mom a clip of one of the God's Hour, and my mom's like, puro shitty, fuck. So I think that's really funny. So I think, not because I want to get monetized on YouTube. I mean, I guess that's a bonus, but just because, you know what I mean? I kind of do curse like a sailor, and I do kind of want to draw it back a little bit. But, I mean, that's how I was raised, bro. My grandma, you know, everything with my grandma was always, you know, cabron, huevon, you know, whatever. It rhymes with that. I definitely didn't grow up old school, but not new school. Definitely in between, especially with my grandma. With my grandma, it was kind of more so my way or the highway. You then get in line or get out of here with that. So with my grandma, at least from here, from that's been here in America for a long time. My Abuelita Lola, she's been staying with us. She's gonna stay with us, at least stay here in America, until, you know, whenever it's her calling card. Basically, my grandma, she's kind of been in and out over here, but I don't think she's going back to Mexico. She fell again earlier during the week, so that like scared me a little bit. Not scared me, but it kind of put me in shock, and still I try not to think about it as much. But I mean, this is reality, guys. When you have older grandparents, parents, or whatever it is, older relatives, and you're in the house with them, anything can happen. God forbid anything crazy happens. But I think I was just laying down or something like that, and my tia called me and said my grandma fell. Like, all nonchalant too. Like, I think I would have been a lot more emotional, but I held my grandma up off of the floor, and in the worst scenario too, like, there was water she had just came out of the shower, so there was water all over the floor. And I go in, and I'm like, fuck, what if I slip and fall with her? And then it just makes it even worse. So I just kind of like wanted to ground my footing. And this was like right before I had to go to work too. So I didn't even really have that much time to process it. I just went to work, and I brought my speaker, and I was trying to play like Mary J. and like more so uplifting songs, because I was just trying to get out of that funk, you know what I mean? You don't want to be stuck in that whole, you know, you got to deal with it, but I didn't want to deal with it at work, you know? So I kind of compartmentalize that shit. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, I kind of messed with my head a little bit. And so my grandma's going to be staying with us, and they're going to be taking care of my grandma's business. Like, she's on Social Security and all this other stuff. So hopefully everything gets settled with that. And my other grandma from over here, she's in the same boat too. Like, she's already getting old. She's forgetting stuff. And I already talked about it, but it just makes you think of your own mortality. Like, fuck, man. Like, when am I going to go? Is it going to be a crazy thing? Am I going to go in my sleep? And is it going to be long and drawn out? I kind of don't want to live like all the way to where, you know, they got to put you down like a dog or something. I'm not saying that I want that to happen for anyone else. I'm just saying, like, I look at Presley, and he's already, you know, Chihuahuas, they say they could live up to 20 years. So he's like at the halfway mark. And now I'm just kind of thinking about him and his health more seriously. And he's still like a young, you know, he's really, he's not old, like, especially in the mind and stuff. He's really like, he could go for long walks. I mean, I do notice he doesn't have the energy like he did before, but I mean, that's a given. Like, he's old already, but you know, you think about the people around you and their mortality, then you start thinking about your own, and then it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna cry about it? Are you gonna give into it and just be sad about it? Or are you gonna live every day like it's your last and just enjoy it? Because that's kind of what I've been trying to do with my dog, with my relatives and things of that nature. it's kind of scary, but when you think about it, everyone got to go at some point. So it's like you might as well just have fun and live life to the fullest, bro. I mean, I kind of got away with from that because I lost, obviously, Raul, Ian, Josh, Jaime, my cousin, and it all put that in perspective. I was sad for a long time, like a really long time. It really put me in a dark place, and I kind of, I'm not, I don't think I'm over it, but I'm in a lot better place than I was a few years ago. But I want to do more things like, give more offerings and just pay my respects a lot more. And it's funny because I feel like I get little signs from Raul or something like, when he was here, like, I think it might have been actually the first time he came to my house. I was like a senior. Presley, are you licking yourself? Presley, I bring your name up, and then bada bing, bada bam, you over there licking yourself. Presley, don't make me flip the covers on you because I'm trying to do the podcast, buddy, and then you're fucking that up. Presley, don't do it. So while Raul was over here, I had an iPod Touch. Remember the iPod Touches when they came out? That was the fucking fanciest thing. But I think, well, it was so weird because I was like taking a selfie, and then somehow like he stumbled and like I think he hit his head on my iTouch and knocked it out of my hand, and it didn't shatter, but the screen cracked all crazy from the bottom corner up. And I was mad at him. I was like, bro, like, you just cracked my phone and all, or my iTouch and all this stuff. And I think he told me like I'll pay for it or whatever. He never paid for it. And then when after he passed away, I was looking at my iTouch like, I'll forever remember him as long as there's a crack in my iTouch. It was just kind of like this funny thing where I'm like, wow, like, this motherfucker still owes me a new screen on my iTouch, like, I'm not thinking about it like seriously like that, but it's just funny. Like, it's like kind of like a still joke, like in my head that I have with him. Like, I'm like, bro, you still owe me a screen. I don't care if you're dead or not. Like, what are you going to do about my screen? Just having fun with him. But then I got this phone, and the day the cover comes, I had my Android without a cover for a long time, no cracks. The day I get it, this happens. I get a mean old crack, and you can't really see it. You can't really see can you see it in the light? So I got like cracks and stuff all up on it. But now when I look at the phone, I'm like, there's Raul again, just fucking my shit up. It's a funny thing that, like, that's what I really believe in. Like, there's certain like guardian angels that you have around you and stuff. That's why I'm big in like my spirituality, because I still feel like Ian, Raul, Josh, Jaime, they're all with me. Both of my grandparents, my grandpas, they're with me, and I feel like I get little subtle signs of that not all the time, but like at times where it's just like, it'd be like something funny happened, or this like reminded me of my grandpa and stuff like that. So I'm saying stuff like that a lot in this episode. I would be saying shit like that, but whatever. I was going to say something else too, relating to all this stuff. I don't know. I did a feature for the Historian on Making History Side B. Shout out everybody. Blood Blixing, Vic Spencer, what is this? Sleep Sinatra. There's a whole bunch of, if I didn't say your name, I'm sorry, but that's the people that I've known, not that I've known, but like that have been around Twitter and stuff for a while now, like Sleep, Vic, Blood Blixing. I've known about them for a while now. And it's really weird because you think Twitter is like this big thing, but really like there's little circles, like little underground circles. And I'm definitely going to be around a lot. Like, if you're familiar with the Historian, you're definitely going to see me around. We got some stuff cooking up in the works. But this feature specifically, Holly Hit High, Historian, he had like 3 beats. He sent them to me. I like that one in particular. And I never really, like, Historian makes beats where you're like, how can you rhyme over this? But for me, it's just like, it's a challenge. Like, I'm going to rhyme over it. I'm going to destroy it. And I'm just going to figure it out however I do it. And for me, it works. I could see how nobody would really like it because I'm doing double time. Like, how do you do, if there's any beat you wouldn't be doing double time to, it'd be that beat. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I started going off. Holly hit hot when it's hot. Pray for the weak on the weekend we plot. Cuddies get cut because my cousin got shot. Pray for the weak on the weekend we plot. You know, it was just kind of playing with it. And whenever I rap, a lot of people, like, there's some people who would say, oh, you need to live your raps. And you could tell those people never rhymed ever in their life or made a song. And it's like, that's cool if that's how you want to look at it that way. But for me, I really get into character mode. So these type of characters I play, I almost want to make aliases and stuff like MF Doom, you know, Victor Vaughn, King Ghidorah. Who else did he have? Danger Doom. But that's a lot of work. I'm not going to brainstorm, oh, okay, I'm going to invent this character. He's got a trench coat, a fucking fedora, glasses, and all that. Holly Hit High is just a song that is just kind of deals with like the underworld, you know what I mean, and everything that comes with that. But even in that song, I say this life ain't for me. Something. All my meals never free. Some shit like that. So there's definitely, obviously, I'm not condoning what I'm doing in the song fully. It's more so like you got to pick up on it. But the story in I Love His Beats is just, there's only so much you could do with looping without drums. Very, very few samples. Maybe not very few, but very, like, samples. If they don't have good drums in them, it's really hard to just have a whole album like that and it not sound like this is repetitive, or it just doesn't have enough variety to it and replay value. Especially if you're having like a 20-track album, everything has to stand out. And Big Daddy Chop, shout out to him. But, you know, nevertheless, I like the feature. Shout out to the Historian. Go play that right now, making history side B. And we got some more stuff in the works. There's some other stuff. Should I just make it a short episode? There's other stuff that I have, like that dead woman at Disneyland. What happened with that? That's kind of scary. Can you imagine if you're riding on what's the thing with the elephant, Dumbo, or you're in Adventureland or whatever it is, and you just see a chick just all dead. You're like, what? Like, you're eating popcorn, you're with your chicks. What are those things that spin? You have it, and it's like, they're like wires with things on it, and they got lights and stuff. I remember liking those as a kid. Disneyland is so overrated though, because the every ticket's like $300. You can't even ride on everything. Every ride is mediocre. You know, a lot of, what's up, Pop? What's going down? Welcome to the program. What's crack-a-lacking? I'm good, and you? On my laundry? Oh, okay, I'll handle that. I'm gonna end the podcast soon anyway, Pop. All right, good night, Pop. Love you, Pop. So, yeah, with Disneyland, it's just kind of like, everything is the same. Like, everything is like a wee for 5 minutes, and then you gotta wait 2 hours to get in line. Disneyland is just such a corny waste of time, unless you're 5. If you're 5, Disneyland is like freaking heaven on earth. But if you're literally a hardworking blue-collar 9-to-5 worker or whatever, you're like, can we just go and buy Legos and watch a movie or something? Because Disneyland is not it. If you want to go for a ride, wait until the carnival comes and they got those little roller coaster things with them, because Disneyland is, to me, is a ripoff. Now, if you like it and you enjoy it and you want to spend fucking $1,000 on an annual pass, and be my guest, bro, you could spend your money however you want it. I'm just saying, me personally, I could spend $1,000 on a new camera, a gold chain. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I could get out of more than Disneyland. Maybe not a gold chain, but something else, you know what I mean? Rims, something that spins, you know what I mean? That was funny. My pop just poked his head in and remind me about the laundry. Literally, had he not done that, I probably would have forgot about it, but that's what's up. The Mexican president posted like this this Mayan elf, supposedly Maya elf spirit. I think it was on Twitter or something. Maybe I'll cut it in or something, but that's kind of wild, bruh. You know, they say I don't know, it kind of look wild. It kind of looked like something between a monkey or something like that. Mexico has like a crazy superstition when it comes to beliefs and mysticism and syncretism and stuff like that. I just thought that was wild that the Mexican president, you know, Viva Mexico, he's over here posting the mystical elves of the forest. Somebody better check on what that was, because I think that's a joke. But if it's not, like, can you imagine if this fool is really taking a walk down somewhere by, what's that castle that Dracula lives in? Transylvania. Like, what if he was like headed to Transylvania on foot, and he just looks up and he sees like a fucking Maya spirit, and he takes a pic, like that fool's gonna like really just stay there like all, and he takes a picture of it. Like, what are the chances of that? I don't know. I just think it's fucking weird. But shout out to all the Maya spirit elves out there, if that is real. You know what I mean? I was at the store earlier, and the firefighters are always at this store. They're always buying chicken sandwiches, chicken fingers, you know, boba teas or whatever. But this time, they had like the Stairmaster up there, and the dude's like in like the firefighters and all his gear head to toe. He's going up the Stairmaster, and they're like asking for donations and stuff like that. Right next to them is the Girl Scouts, and they're asking for donations, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not gonna give you donations, bro. You literally get paid off of taxpayers. There shouldn't be no reason you guys would need donations. You literally you get paid by the feds, like the federales come and cut your check, bro. Like, why would you need donations? You're not the Girl Scouts. Y'all not actually hustling out here and learning how to do hand-to-hand sales once a year or whatever it is. But the Girl Scouts, nice little Girl Scouts over here, they asking me. They didn't even have the cookies I wanted. Like, I think they had the lemon bites or whatever they call them, the lemon things. I thought I was gonna get those. They didn't have the stuff I like the Samoas, the Tagalongs, the Thin Mints. There was one other flavor I liked. I don't think they have it anymore. But they were like, "Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?" And I'm like, I don't have any cash. I'll pay with card. And they're like, "Oh, we don't do card right now." And what the firefighters are there, so the guy's like, "Hey, do we take card?" And I'm like, "Fucking cornball, dude!" Like, and I just started walking away as soon as he said that. I'm like, literally, why would you say that, bro? I'm over here trying to help the Girl Scouts out, and you over here just being a weirdo. Like, don't do that, bro. Just like, if I want to donate to y'all, I'll rob somebody, get a fire extinguisher. I'll get some rain boots for y'all or something like that from the, what is it, Goodwill or the thrift store. I'm not going to pull money out from my bank account and give you money when it's literally I'm paying your guys' salary with, like, we all are, bro. Everybody who shops at this store, we're literally paying y'all salary. So the fact that you're asking donations is wild. It's really fucking wild. I'm not with it at all. I'm making beats again. Not making beats again, but I'm making a bunch of beats now, and I gotta slow down because I had this thing where I was gonna make 9 beats every day for 9 days. That's 81 beats, but I'm like, bro, I literally have 81 beats. I got more than 81 beats. I probably have about 500 beats. If we're gonna keep it real, we're gonna keep it funky, fresh, and fly. 500 beats that nobody's heard, or maybe some of them. Like, I dropped Daisy in the Rain, and then on March 23rd, I'm gonna drop a new instrumental tape. I'm doing this thing. I want to do this thing where I make, I did it with Poison Gas. So I did Daisy in the Rain, Poison Gas, and now I'm going to do this new one where I'm going to take one song and I'm going to make like a whole beat tape out of it, like just a whole bunch of beats and loops out of it. I did that with Poison Gas. I'm going to do it with this new project. And we're going to see how it goes. I don't know what I'm going to call the series, but we got Poison Gas. And then maybe it'll all be like sort of like this thing that I have in my head, this whole idea that I'm going to turn it into. But I love making beats. I just bought some drum kits and some other like sounds. And literally, I have so many samples that just need drums. I have so many countless samples that I don't need drums for, but for the like 75%, I need drums for them. And watch out, everybody, for getting these drum kits, because some of these be fugazis. You know, you be thinking you bought a good drum kit, but it's like literally a drummer going ham, like, and you're like, hold on, bro, like I wanted hip hop like type drum kit beats, not a whole freaking jazz jamboree over here. You know, it's not rocket science. I want drum kits, not a freaking whole Santana ensemble solo drum set. You know, that's what's up, though. I'm really into it. I made a beat last night where I'm like, damn, like I'm literally finding little nooks and crannies just to sharpen the beats, like the certain plugins, EQs, and a whole bunch of other producer stuff that probably people wouldn't know about. But that's what's up, you know what I mean? We just watched John Wick 1 and 2. Me and my parents, we saw. I mean, I didn't think my mom would like the John Wick series, but she really liked the first one. She really liked the second one. We're gonna probably watch the third one soon. And John Wick the 4 comes out at the end of the month. Actually, the day after my beat tape comes out. And how I feel about the John Wick, I don't know what's better, 1 or 2. Both of them are like really good, you know, as far as like the cinematography, the story. I think I like the first one better because it kicked it off, you know, like it's the OG, but they're fun. It's a phenomenal series. It's not like Fast and the Furious where, you know, 1 was really good and then 2 was corny and then Tokyo Drift was good and which one was 4? The one either before or after the last Paul Walker one where they go to Brazil, that one was fucking corny. Like pretty much after the one with Paul Walker, all of them were corny as fuck. That was the last one. I think the first one, Tokyo Drift, and then the last Paul Walker one, that might have been like Fast 5, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. No Vin Diesel groupies better come and fucking take my head off for that one, but yeah, John Wick is just a really good series. The first one is about basically this guy, he's an assassin, but he's trying to live a good life, and this guy kills his dog, takes the car, and he kills everybody, the son and then the father. And the second one is about this guy that John owes him a favor, and he goes after him, or he has to do the favor. John has to do the favor for this guy, only for the guy to backstab him. And in the end, John kills him. Spoiler alert. And the third one is about John being excommunicated and all the assassins come after him. So I'm really pumped up. Like I kind of forgot like how the story was. Like I kind of do remember, but then when you see it all again, it's like, oh, okay, it's a refresher just to see the fourth movie. I like John Wick. I'll give like John Wick 1 like a solid 8.2, and I'll give John Wick 2 like a solid, 7.8. I didn't like now thinking about it, I didn't really like 2 compared to 1, but in 2 you could tell like they did better techniques, like more like, like shooting scenes and like stabbings, and it's like a lot more like gory and like violent than the first one. I just feel like the first one, like all the story, how it was written, how it all ties together, very tight, like almost like bulletproof. John Wick, the first one. And just speaking about John Wick, it's on Peacock, and I think it's bullshit that I pay for Peacock and I have to watch ads. Like, literally, if the ads were any more than 15 seconds, like how they were, I'd be like, yo, fuck this movie, because I hate watching ads. I hate when a movie's interrupted. When I go to the movies, I don't want to hear a fucking baby cry. I don't want to hear someone's cell phone going off. I don't, especially, like, have you ever been in the movies and someone, like, puts their feet on your chair and you're like, you turn around and you're like, bro, if you kick my seat one more time, I'm going to smash this bucket of popcorn over your head and I'm going to freaking throw my soda in your face, because literally, that's happened to me, especially when I was a kid, and my dad was like, yo, bro, like, cut it the fuck out because before you get smacked the fuck up, because we don't play that shit, bro. Like if you want to be like that, go home and watch a movie. Don't be in the movie theaters trying to ruin somebody else's experience at your comfortability or whatever. And as far as the movie theaters, as far as like the Peacock thing goes, I really only watch it for wrestling. I just got Stars, and I'm watching Power. I don't know if I talked about it yet, but I'm watching Power. It's a pretty good show. Pretty dope deal, $5 for 3 months. Literally, it was $20 for 6 months. I missed out on that, then $5 for 3 months, and now they knocked it down to $3 for 3 months. Come on, guy. What is that? Gotta get them while you can, bro. Whatever it is. With the whole Peacock thing, they got WWE, and I think I talked about this where you could watch all the WE shit, the WWF, and I'm watching it, and I forgot, I think WrestleMania 21, was it? 21 had Chris Benoit? I think it was 21 when he had the stitches and stuff. I'm like, oh man, I don't even know how I feel about Chris Benoit watching him wrestle, because he killed his son and his wife, and he killed himself. That's wild to me. The way I look at it is the same thing. I'm listening to Michael Jackson or R. Kelly. It's just like their careers have been stained to the point where it's like, for me personally, I don't watch them now and be like, this is dope. I kind of do still, but it's more so, oh man, like this fool killed his son. Like, what the fuck, you know? That shit is wild. I literally had to change it. I think Chris Benoit was wrestling Eddie Guerrero or something like that, and I just had to skip it. I'm like, all right, who won? Chris Benoit won? Okay, great. And then I just keep it moving on from there, because I really don't want to think about... I don't want that ruining my experience, you know? It's just kind of like... It's weird, bruh. Like, I could separate the man from the entertainment, but... it still lingers around like a ghost. Like, oh, this fool is just like, he's a maniac, you know? This fool went AWOL and just literally like a, what do they call it? Like a double murder suicide or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that shit is wild. And rest in peace to Eddie Guerrero too. Just moving on from that, Eddie Guerrero, I've been watching his feud he did with Rey Mysterio, which was like at the beginning of 2005, and then I'm like, dude, this is literally the same year Eddie died, and it's just kind of wild. I'm just watching like all the SmackDowns, all the pay-per-views leading up to. I think I want to watch like every SmackDown up until WrestleMania 22, because I think I remember watching those as they came out like live. You know, I think watching WWE is kind of like it's tapped me back into like being a child again. I think I talked about that on 91. I think this is going to be episode 92, but we're way past 92. Like, this is literally me filling in the gaps, and then we're on to the regular schedule programming. One last thing before I get out of here, man. So I feel like Chava Style Diss Me came out with this track. On Christmas, he dropped it, right? When I drop my album, he drops a track. So I'm like, oh, okay. I listened to it. And actually, you know what? Let me pull it up. So I could do live for live verbatim. So this isn't like some bullshit I pulled out of nowhere. Let me see. So he was talking about, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, this is a whatever song. I don't think Chava Styles is like the greatest on the mic, you know, that's just me being real. But I also don't think he's bad. I think he's really dope. I just don't think he's found like his niche yet. Especially, you know, he had his own like identity and his own sound with me when we were like a duo, but like now it's just like, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of doing like the same shit, and that's just like my whole thing with him. It's like I feel like he should really like find his own sound. So I love how this song is called Platinum Plus, Naya Recordings, and I know where Naya Recordings is. It's not in Hollywood, but the cover for it is Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and I think I know who that is in the corner, but let me play it. So free promotion for Chava Styles.
What to mock the hands of few when the work is plenty. Platinum plus Benji's 3 again, the outward at the Beansville frenzy. Extra ducats might get me out this bucket. I start pushing Benji. Push the star flow, cushion the dark. Michael Van Curvin with a dart. Matisse with a pen. When I jot his art. Fly Espanol, braggadocio. I did the Ops 81 and memory of Kobe. Family man.
I give the Ops 81 in memory of Kobe. So how I feel about that is like, I think I just kind of want to air it out at this point because I wouldn't even consider this a diss. I would just think that's like a sneak dissy line. But I mean, that's all I needed to hear for real. It's just like the fucking beat, first of all, isn't really that good. It's not catching my attention at all. But he said Matisse with a pen earlier before that, and then he says, I give the Ops 81, Palace 81. So, I mean, some people when they tell me, oh, this fool isn't dissing you or whatever, it's like, y'all not paying attention, bro. Like, it's all there. The way I feel about it is just, I don't know what it is with Chava. He kind of like, I thought we were kind of over that shit, but he kind of wants to drag this whole thing out, and dissing me on a record really isn't the path to enlightenment or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Me personally, I think it wasn't a good diss. Like, if you're gonna diss me, go all the way, like air it all the way out instead of me having to be like all on speculation, like, oh, okay, like now I'm just gonna talk about it on the podcast because that's what I'm gonna do. This is my show. So let's go to the beginning with Chava Styles. You know, we were really cool, and there was little signs like of like disloyalty, right, or things that I didn't like. This producer had a problem with. I told Chava, I'm like, what should we do? Like, you know, like, should we just cut this fool or what's up? And he's like, something like where I was like, I want to cut this fool, and then like not cut him, like stab him, but like we're just not gonna mess with this fool. Like, we're not gonna work with this producer. And Chava was like, whoa, if we're not gonna work with him, we're not gonna work with him. Fast forward, this producer, I don't even know if I've talked about this. Maybe I did on the first episode ever of the podcast, or something like that. But this producer accused me of stealing a beat. I didn't steal for real. And then Kendrick Lamar ended up using it. Makami ended up using it. Like, I'm like, wow. Like, I think that's God's way of saying, like, look, remember this shit? Like, don't forget. Like, what the fuck? So, it all started from there. And I just didn't want to talk to Chava for, like, a while. You know, and some personal things were going on in my life. And supposedly he thinks that I was so willing to throw everything that we built to over like nothing. And it's like, bro, you accuse me of something I didn't do, and then you try to like get crazy with me, and I didn't want to talk to you. Like, that's all it is, bro. Like, I just didn't want to talk to you for a while, and now you want to like sneak diss me and all this stuff. Like, it just doesn't look good, bro. Like, that's the reason why I never really made us a group. Like, I literally put Bridge City, the whole Bridge City movement on my back. Like, everything we built, everything pretty much I built, bro, and you helped. Like, you wasn't there mixing with me. You wasn't there engineering and doing all the stuff. Like, I pretty much engineered the movement and put the fucking nuts and bolts and bumps and bruises with this shit. And all you pretty much did was rap, bro. You really didn't, like, okay, you might have gotten me and my cousin a few shows, but it's not really nothing to brag about. What we built, what you contributed to what I really built is like this is what I built, and this is how much you helped me. You know what I mean? It's like if I built a car and somebody painted it and you're like, oh, you're gonna throw away what we built. It's kind of like not what we built, what I built, and you kind of helped at the end. That's kind of how I feel about the whole situation. He might have a whole different perspective on it. That's just my opinion. But I mean, Chava Styles, anytime you want to have a rap battle, I'm really open for it, bruh. And this is like no hate. This is like all love and shit, because we could get that shit crack-a-lacking for no money, for no profit. Like, this is all for the art, because if you really have an issue with me in person, get at me in person. But if this is some rap shit that you kind of want to talk about it, we could speak about it on, because I'm not with the sneak this and shit, bruh. But I mean, you know, if you have a problem with me, I say this all the time. You either say my name or you pussy. That's just for anybody. It's not going just for you, bro. Like, this is on everybody, on everything, bro. Because I'm not one to back down from anything. I've literally sparred with the gods before. It's happened. It's been documented, whether people know it or not. I'm not pussy to none of this shit. I really come up to the plate when my name is called. When it hasn't been called, I step up to the plate. That's not no threat or nothing like that. It's just like, Chava Styles, if you're going to come, you would better come with a better diss than that. Because I will literally destroy you. I would, like, factual, lyrically, everything, like bar-wise, the whatever it is, like, you will literally be cast out into the pasture and put down like, oh, Yeller, for real, though. If you want to be with this rap shit. Now, with the other shit, it's just like, there's no need for, like, no... You know, like how you was really trying to go about it originally, like, oh, you know where I'm at and all this other weirdo shit. It's like, bro, like, we just had a misunderstanding, like, or a conflict of interest, or a inability to agree on certain things. And that's all it was. You know, this isn't a big deal to me. You could keep sneak dissing me if you want, but this is me right here calling you out, bro. If you want to be on this rap shit, I don't think you want it. But literally, I will fucking air you the fuck out. And this is not even airing you out. This is just me addressing a few things that can be said about the whole situation. I didn't want to end it on that note. I want to end it on a funnier note. I got this Shure SM58 mic, right? And it's cool, you know what I mean? This is like a really, like, you know, when you know, you need an extra mic or something, you got this. But I'll never forget one day, I think my uncle got this exact same mic, and I feel like this is the MF Doom mic on the Doomsday album. But I'll never forget when my uncle, he got a Shure mic, and he's like, I remember him telling me, oh, I just got a Shure mic. I go into the market, I got a Shure mic. I go up to the mic and I say, sure. That shit fucking killed me, because that was my Theo's like catchphrase, like, sure. He would always say that, and he would like exaggerate, like if it was something like if you told him something like, oh, you know I won the National Spelling Bee or whatever, he'd be like, sure. Or if it was something he really didn't believe, like something unbelievable to him, he'd be like, sure. Like something stupid. My Theo was hilarious. Theo was hilarious with funny shit like that. But, you know, I was about to do this podcast with this mic. I don't know what happened. As soon as I plugged in, and Amazon, they call it the Amazon Basics, because that's what you're doing. You're going to the very basic minimum, not even high quality shit. But as soon as I plugged it into the mic, it fucking didn't work for this mic that I'm doing right here. So thank God I bought like a more higher quality cable, and it did started working. So hopefully you do see like a noticeable quality difference with this wire and the other wire. But for the message of the day, I would just say, message of the day. I would just say, know where your heart lies, know where your loyalty is, and just be aware of the people around you. Not everyone is going to have your best interests at heart, whether they say it or not, whether they know it or not. Some people are just out for themselves, and you got to be either aware of that or move away from that, like I did. You know, I kind of just... Anybody who I felt like ever moved weird around me, I just stay away from them. You know, I just cut them out of my life, you know, and it's not like no malicious shit. It's just like whatever you're on, I just don't want to be a part of. And fuck if they're mad. Like, fuck anybody if they're not cool with you being happy and living the way you want to do it, because at the end of the day, it's your life. You live it the way you want to do it. And like Jim said, protect your peace, protect, whatever he says, protect your peace or whatever and your prosperity. But that's all I have for you guys. This is the God's Hour episode 92. And we're out.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil lay inside your box now while the angels fly over my head.